Pickacard. How do they see you now? Here are your options, and I'll see what you're reading. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 1, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen. And your downloads go as follow. How do they see you now? They keep dreaming about you. They've noticed that somehow your aura has changed. You're more compelling, you're clairaudient because of the head tilt. They feel like sometimes you can even hear what it is that they are saying, even if it is only in their own mind. They would like to communicate with you, and perhaps some of them are even trying to communicate telepathically. I know it sounds kind of wild, but it could also be like with intention or trying to meet up on the 5D or whatever it's called in the dream realm. Astral projection, thank you. So some of them are trying to astral project or infiltrate your dreams. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at a little bit more information for you during the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my channel. Pile number 1. How do they see you now? If you're new to my channel, I hope that you find something that is helpful, hopeful, refreshing, or at least, at the very least, amusing. And if you are indeed a repeat offender, I am so grateful to have you here. Pile number 1. How do they see you now? You have the Chariot. You have the 2 of Wands. Nope. You have the Ace of Wands. And you have the 9 of Cups. So pile number 1, right off the bat, I feel like they see you now as somebody who is under incredible amount of control, like self-control. I feel like how they see you now is that you are very determined, you know where you're going, that you've been able to really kind of take something that was set apart from you, like your positive and negative polarity. It's so easy to say that. But what I really mean by that is, it seems to me that once upon a time, you disowned really deep parts about yourself. And you're like, no, that part of me is bad. I don't want to have any affiliation with that. And somehow you've managed to really integrate all of your parts, for lack of a better way of saying it. I hope this is kind of clear for you. With all of the deep transformations that you've made, it really seems like they're viewing you currently as somebody who has a really good head on their shoulders. It seems like you know where you are going. Also that you are highly crowned, and that you have, I don't want to say that you have a lot more of a glow up waiting for you, because I feel like you're undergoing fast movements, rapid movements. Okay, this is really weird. I don't know who this pertains to, but somebody had an issue with electricity or just got kind of like shocked, or your, when you went to plug something in, it sparked. I don't know. That's for somebody out there. And that's just confirmation. So that just went through my head right now. But also this could indicate that maybe perhaps they see you as being somebody who is incredibly electric. Not in the sense of when we say somebody's electric and they're just like all over the place, kind of ADD-ish, or having high energy, although you could be. I feel like more as in powerful, as in commanding. You have commanding presence now, more so than you did before. Now, with the 2 of Wands right here, people, how they see you right now is that you have a lot of options. You have many options. And I feel like they could even be in competition with other people for you. Now, if this is not romantic, because I don't necessarily read a ton of romance on my channel, I'm going to say that this could be competing for your attention, even if it's not a romantic situation. Would you have friends and family excuse me. I'm trying to get over a cold, and so it's going to be one of those. And if you can't stand it, sorry, but that's what it is. But you have a lot of people like competing for your attention, okay? And I'm just going to say with the 2 wands right here, and the snake, that they've been able to see that you have evolved some way, somehow. And maybe perhaps somebody, like a little birdie, has told them a little bit about your stuff right now, okay? And what they're seeing is that you have the ability to take at least 2 massively different routes, and they're both very good choices for you. This could also indicate that they feel like that you have a lot of choices that you didn't have back then. Now, the interesting part about this card, and I don't really know if I've ever sat down with this card and kind of absorbed it, but right away I'm noticing all the redness on his chest, and it feels to me a little bit kind of painful. And so it could really indicate that they're seeing you with a lot of options and they have a desire for you, but they're unable to come forward. And this seems combative as well. So the Ace of Wands can indicate like the phallic symbol as well, but this can really simply talk about like a desire to move forward for you. But this could also indicate like inflamed desire, like whether they feel like they want to reach out and touch someone with whatever it is in their hand, right? I feel like this could really indicate, I don't want to say like violence or kind of one of those escalated type of situations. For some reason, I'm having words elude me, and I'm not one to be at a loss of words much. And I feel like maybe even some of these people see you now as being somebody who has grown up, shown up, and changed so much that they feel like they need divine intervention in order to approach you even. And it seems like it's a battle within themselves. I feel like they can't even group their thoughts together. They're a little bit at a loss, or a lot of it at a loss. And frankly, it's their loss. So how do they see you now? It was the Nine of Cups. It's somebody that they can't get over. So I feel like the Nine of Cups, they are kind of drowning in sorrow. This usually doesn't indicate sorrow, but this is like you are the dream person. The dream man, the dream girl, the dream guy, doesn't make a difference. You are the dream. You are emotional fulfillment. You are incredibly watery right here with all of the hair pulling forward. It almost seems like she's falling, or even as she dove into water, like those dramatic scenes where people dive into the water and their hair is all everywhere, and it's beautiful. I feel like you could have very long hair, or something about your hair is incredibly different, attention getting. I feel like also, once upon a time, they saw you as being someone who used to have to self-soothe a lot, and that now you have everything at your fingertips, that you have really grouped together. Again, it seems like I feel like all of these pieces that were you, that you disowned, that you thought this isn't right, this is yuck, I don't like that about myself, I want to be perfect. And you have managed to really embrace all the parts of you, realizing that you are perfect as is. And yes, we can continue to grow, and yes, we can continue to evolve and change, but that essentially you have loved every part of yourself now. Way more so than you did back in the day, whatever that means to you. So how do they see you now? They've seen you change. They've seen you glow up. Now, if this is resonating, if you can do me a solid and give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm so grateful for those of you that already have done so. And also, if you could please click on that notification bell, that will alert you when I drop further videos. Pile number 1. What do they see? How do they see you now? What? You make me crazy is what I heard. Okay. So I'm looking at this serpent, this snake right here. And of course you have the Lover's card right here. This is about a choice. And maybe perhaps they're seeing that you have choices right now in love. And the King of Swords. Yeah, I feel like if this is romantic, this is stating that a lot of people see. How they see right now is that you have choices, and that they want to come in and be the choice. They want to be the one with the King of Swords to be like, okay, well, this is why I'm better for you, the best for you. And if this is not romantic, then I'm just going to say that this person wants to be in your life some way, somehow, And they want to have like a ruling authority. It's almost like I'm getting the vibe of, I want to win this. You know, and we're not freaking video games. And it's not the word that came to my mind, but it's almost like this person is used to winning, or these people are used to winning and not losing, or they're used to having their way, and they're used to, I don't know. Something about this gives me a little bit of like, I know it's Beetlejuice, well, kind of the idea of it, but it gives me the idea that, you know, they're used to having their own way, and they wonder, they're like, well, why can't I have my own way now? So, you know, how do they see you now? These could even be people in your current life. However you came to this reading is perfectly fine. These readings are definitely timeless. I'm going to get this to be clear. Yeah, I feel like they feel a little bit unclear. It's like they want to have like this rulership, but they also feel like now they have mass respect for you. Before, like once upon a time, they did not. And I don't know where this lack of respect came from. It feels a little bit to me like entitlement. So let's see what's going on here. We pulled out these two rune stones, rune cards, if you will. And I am not well versed in these, so we're just going to see how this goes. We have Halagaz. See if we can find it in our cheat notes. You guys are probably screaming at the screen, going, hey! Okay, Grisel, you can read. Okay, endings and new beginnings. Transformation, radical change. Yeah, disruption and completion. And that would make sense, because it definitely feels like there was an ending, a completion. And maybe even perhaps this person had destructive behavior, or these people, and now they really feel like they're seeing you now is something once again to be conquered, or they're like, wow, I kind of missed out, or wow, I didn't know that he or she was like going to be like that. And you know, that's for the birds. But look at this electricity. That's what I was feeling in my mind. It's almost like they're electrified. They're a little bit, yeah, it feels to me like somebody was literally like electrocuted in some way, and almost that like they've been initiated once again, or ignited. Now, for those of you that really believe and you're on the spiritual path, and I hope that that's most of you that are on this channel, I feel like this could have been almost like a catalyst, that they are currently viewing you some way, somehow, as a catalyst into their awakening, okay? Now, it doesn't mean that we have to interact with them any longer. It doesn't mean anything that you choose it not to be, okay? This simply means that something about you created an electric bolt that once upon a time they thought that they were the electric bolt. I feel like I'm even getting, what is that word? It's almost like a smarmy energy, almost like, well, I had that bagged, or, you know, they think they knew you, and then all of a sudden here you are, completely unknown to them. And yeah, it feels like a resurrection, a little bit of, I'm getting a little bit of Frankenstein vibes. Yeah, almost like you were initiated and you kind of resurrected and became a whole different person, and they're being initiated as well, whoever they are. Okay, is that Isa? I don't know, but we're gonna look at our little cheat sheet here. Oh yeah, stillness, creativity, skill, offspring, and learning. So this could indicate maybe a offspring or a parental unit, right? But this is about watching you being escon in protection. Maybe they see you, maybe it's a timeout. It's giving me hangman vibes as well with the stillness here. Self-control, focus, and stability. So it seems to me like you've undergone major change, and they are seeing you quite different. It's almost like pile number one is like, hey, I'm pile number one. Let me reintroduce myself. Because the person you knew once upon a time is not that anymore. The person that you took advantage of once upon a time is not that anymore. So good for you. And you know what the heck? A round of applause. We're doing all these like hand things. It's kind of wild. But let me just see with my graffiti. No, these are the tea leaf. Sorry, different deck. A little bit of clarification. What do we have? Wind chimes, peace and harmony. Yeah, this person can see that you are in harmony right now. And you know how it is, like when you are doing well or you're in harmony, it seems like it really aggravates and antagonizes their demons. It's just how it is. Hammock, taking a vacation, physically or mentally. Yeah, maybe this is timeout, separation. situation kind of a thing. This almost like a person bent over. That sounds really bad, but hunched over, facing this way with a long dark hair. Maybe this person's having a hard time walking. I don't know. Maybe they did something to their foot or their back is out, that kind of a thing. And one last thing, please. What do we have? The lobster. The lobster. So financial pinch. They could be seeing a lot of like crustaceans. Is that what you call it? Well, anyways, I'm going to sneeze. I'm just going to say, yeah, maybe they feel like they're in a financial pinch, or because of financial reasons, they are confined and restricted and unable to come towards you. I actually do want to take another card. Show me what I need to see for pile number 1. How do they see you now? I feel like they see you as doing better financially, and they feel like they are in a pinch or limited or restricted, and they are not liking that. Mercury. Coming closer, darlings. Yeah. Communicate, learn, travel, logic, expressive, coordinate, and perceive. Okay, so Gemini or Virgo energy, that's pretty cool. So I definitely feel like you are more communicative, more established, more grounded, more serene. More serene. Sorry about sounding stuffy. Yeah, I'm just trying to get over something. But I feel like you feel very expansive and very protected, very escond in something that like gives you protection, gives you pleasure, gives you an air of being free, of being a forest fairy, if you will, of being very light, of not having that heaviness against you. And I feel like once upon a time, this person or these people really invaded your energy, and it caused like such a dark heaviness. It almost felt like your pockets were made of lead or of stone, and it had the sinking ability. But now I feel like pile number 1, that they see you and you feel very light, and I don't want to say flighty, but you know, you are very free to kind of just meander and go with the flow, and that you feel stable and that you feel very grounded. And I do feel like they kind of feel like, you know, you are the ace of the 9 of Cups right here, that you are a dream and a fulfillment and a wish fulfillment. But it's almost like I get the, okay, I get the energy of like they want to control that. Something about it is very controlling. Now I'm looking at this Halagaz again for some reason, and I can't get over the electricity. What I didn't say earlier is I saw a whole bunch of electricity. It wasn't just like a little. And I thought, I didn't want to alarm anyone. I don't feel like anyone is going to be electrocuted per se. I mean, but I'm going to say just a ton of electricity. And this could even mean that they have stung themselves by their own behavior. And that how they view you now is that you're not around to. Some of you guys were like really not well taken care of. I'm sorry about that. You weren't respected or loved or taken care of. And I'm just talking in a basic human rights kind of a way. And because of that, I feel like they have no one else to abuse. So the word abuse keeps coming up. And if this is your narrative, then yeah, my heart goes out to you. Pile number 1. So how do they see you now? Artistic, tenderness, and romantic. Okay, finicky, sensitive, and insecure. Stamina with green, blue, black, purple, or red. Okay. Wood and yin. Yeah, flourishing fire and destroy earth. Interesting. So I definitely feel like you're being looked at as being very tender, being very watery in some ways, like emotionally expressive. And maybe that's something that you were not able to do with this restrictive energy, or this energy of like, I'll entertain you with my hands and then I'm going to sting you, you know? And maybe you were indeed dealing with a Scorpio. I don't know that for a fact. Of course, I mean, all of us can have a lot of different, you know, we have different placements in our charts and whatnot, but the gist of it is you want to look at mannerism. You want to look at that moon right there, which really stands for not knowing how people are going to make moves and things like that. And maybe perhaps they are stung by the fact that once upon a time they were able to read your every move, and now they can't read you whatsoever. So this is how they see you now. Let me know what you think. Much, much love to you. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 2, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of your screen. And your downloads go as follow. How do they see you now? They feel like you left an imprint. Absolutely. You seem, and this is a weird way, but this is what I heard, you seem 3D in a 2D world, like emotionally. And we're talking looking at the world and everybody's like flat, or I even heard NPC, non-playing character. You exude confidence and also stage lights. So there's something very unattainable now. They feel like they've misjudged you as well. So we're going to get a little bit more information during the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome, welcome, pile number 2. I'm so glad to have you. If you're indeed new to my channel, I hope that you find it fun, maybe inspiring, helpful, hopeful. If not, then I hope that you find a little bit of amusement here. And for those of you that are repeat offenders, I am so grateful for you. Thank you so much for being here. How do they see you now? Pile number 2. You have the 2 of Swords. You have the High Priestess. Oh. You have the 4 of Cups. And you have the Emperor. I want to see a lot of dark energy. I feel like a little bit of like Lilith vibes, but I don't feel like it's like dark energy. We're just gonna see where this goes. Pile number 2. Yeah, I definitely feel like there is a need for equality here. I feel like you are, they're currently seeing you now as somebody who is fighting to be equal, that you will not have anything less than, okay? And I'm looking right here, I never noticed that her hand is like dark and all of a sudden it's turning to light right here. And of course, we have the double sword action going on for the 2 of Swords, Nemesis. So people are really seeing you. How they seeing you right now is that you could be a formidable foe. That's really hard to say, by the way. So you could be seen as somebody who's willing to go to war for what you believe in, that you do not care if your hand atrophies into that sword, that regardless, that you will see justice. And currently with the 2 of Swords, you are being seen as somebody who is not going to give in an inch. This could be a stalemate situation, a separation. We have the High Priestess, right, with Persephone. And, you know, the High Priestess talks to me about she who knows, she who has all of the secrets. And I'm looking at how she's embracing all of these flowers, right? They seem to be wildflowers, almost like growing around her. And, of course, then you have the dark flowers crowning her, which echoes this, which echoes those as well. And I feel like you've embraced maybe your villain era. So pile number 2, interestingly enough, when I was looking at the picture, that really captivated me, because I actually do painstakingly choose each and every picture that I go with to do my Piccacards, my thumbnails. And I know y'all sometimes don't like them. I get that. That's fine. But this one really stood out to me. It felt very much like the old school, not comic books, but the old school movies. It felt a little bit, I don't know, it just felt very different. And I feel like how you are being seen right now is that you are different, that you have changed, that you almost are operating in a whole different world than they are. I feel like, sorry for hard breathing. I'm trying to get over a cold or something like that, but I still want to do my reading for you guys. And yeah, so with the High Priestess, it's like she who knows. And I feel like you're surrounded by beauty. I feel like you are becoming even more beautiful, but you're embracing the darker aspects of yourself, even to the point where you're like, you know what, I don't agree with you, or this is stalemate, or you've got no contact, and you believe what you believe, and nobody's going to change your mind. Now, with the dark roses right here, it could be said that some people think that maybe you've given into darkness, but that you're still incredibly beautiful, and this to me speaks on abundance as well. How do they see you now is that you have been through it, and maybe perhaps they're finally starting to see the scars that you've been through. And it's not like we're here, you know, trying to be like, oh, I went through the worst case. You know how you have those friends who want to one up everything? I feel like these people are like, well, I've been through, you know, so much worse, and I've been through this. And it's like, well, that's great. That's your story. And we're not here for a one-upmanship. We're not here of, oh, I went through this and I went through that. I feel like you're surpassing that, and you've integrated, again, maybe you're coming from pile number one, your positive and negative polarities. I feel like also you're showing, I'm air quotes if you're not watching the screen, your dark side, okay? And what I mean by that is that you're not the pleasant little, oh, okay, we'll just do it that way. Okay, let me agree. Okay. You know, if you have somebody who is, how do they see you now? Like, even if it's a boss from the past, or a lover from the past, or a family member, it doesn't make a difference, that they see that you are no longer in this era of people pleasing, that you are, yeah, it's Lilith energy about how you want an equal give and take, and that you're going to do what is good for you, that you're not here to appease anyone else, because you have one life to live. And so far you spent most of it trying to please everyone else and get on their good side, or acquiesce to whatever their idea is, you know, and that is no longer the truth. So the Four of Cups right here with sticks, this talks about how you're rejecting all offers that doesn't make you feel good. Because right here, she's literally feeling herself, right? And whether guy or girl, I say girl. Wow. Whether guy or girl, it doesn't make a difference. I feel like you're in this villain era of, if it feels good to you, if it seems right for you, then you are going to do it, and you're going to go for it. Whatever feels right and correct for your soul. I do feel like you have like resurrection energy as well. And this almost looks like a knife to me, echoing the Two of Swords right here. And maybe perhaps you've undergone a lot of pain, and people are starting to see this new person, that you're able to really even speak about things, or talk about things, or embrace those parts that maybe other people did not appreciate, you know? For example, if you were a little bit gun shy, or a little bit wounded, or let's say you were jumpy, and you had reason to, maybe you grew up and you had some PTSD, whatever, acronyms escape my brain today. But I'm just gonna say that people are really understanding now that part of your villain era is just really accepting the things that other people rejected, or they wanted to, I heard run through, they wanted to kind of like eradicate or erase about you. And that's just not the way it goes, right? We are part of our history, and everybody kind of expresses things differently. We process things certainly a lot differently. And how they see you now is that you are definitely entering your villain era, with Zeus right here as being the emperor, that you are allowing, he's clutching his throat chakra right here. And this may be, she is too, now that I think about it, a repetition of. So you're speaking of things that maybe have caused you like upset or anxiety. With the Three of Cups before the Four of Cups, that is about things that gave you like pleasure in the fun times, the good old times. But the Four of Cups, you're talking about things that maybe you were restricted on speaking of. Maybe you were in a dangerous situation. You were not allowed to speak on things, or, you know, listen, this channel, we try to serve a variety of people, and we do not all come from the same walks of life. And some of us have been through the walk of life where if you make a small facial movement, that can get you in, quote, physical trouble. Okay, I'm just going to say it how it is. So I know what that's exactly like. And if you guys can't appreciate it, I don't know. I'm feeling defensive, but I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of people in situations where even a micro expression can get you in physical peril. Anyways, but I feel like you're in your Emperor energy right now, that you are speaking your truth, maybe with all spikes right here. People are having a hard time digesting that. And you know what? That's not a you problem. That's a they problem. But how do they see you now? With this crown literally dripping all over you, I feel like you are being embraced by the gods. Okay? Not to be dramatic, but something about your voice, it's very poised. It's very poignant. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but I'm actually kind of not caring. I'm just going to say something very graceful about your hands as well. Something very elusive about you, in that I feel like some people are fearing what you have to say. They fear what you have to say. They're uncomfortable with your truth. And, you know, this is people that were like maybe trapped in a DV situation. Maybe you were in a DV situation, or... And such as myself, there was a, you know, from like familial abuse, and it was just not a good thing. So I'm going to say that these people, they see you now is like emerging from darkness. And it's almost like, wait a minute, I thought we had an agreement, a silent agreement, that we're not going to talk about these things. And all of a sudden you emerge and you're like, you know what? Here is a standstill. We're not even discussing like the deeper things. And I didn't even think it was going to get so dark here, but here we are in darkness, you and I together. So if you're still here, thank you for being patient with me. And if you're still here, I am so grateful that you made it through whatever this is, this darkness, this manipulation. This could have to do with a lot of like physical conflict, right? This could have a lot to do with things that you've seen, maybe perhaps growing up. And therefore, some of us, I personally have repeated patterns that were just not good. I'm just going to say it like that, okay? So I don't know how you guys have been able to process this, but it seems like you are incredibly articulate now in processing things. I feel like some of you guys are writing a book, you're speaking out. Maybe even you are creating some kind of an advocacy for other people, or you're becoming an advocate for other people that don't have people to stand behind them, and so on. So pile number 2, this is kind of intense, and of course I'm trying to get over cold here, so here we go. I'm all choked up, but big hug to you again if this is your narrative. But people are really starting to see that you have transformed powerfully, and yes, that they don't recognize you anymore, because you know what, at some point we need to speak the truth regardless of what happens. And hopefully we can do it when we're in a safe space. That's ideally the best. But I know that there are people out there speaking out, even if it's not ideal. And for that bravery, I definitely commend you. So I expect a lot of you guys already clicked off this reading. But pile number 2, if you are still with me, if you can please do me a solid and give me a like, share, comment, subscribe. That will really help to push out my videos to other people that maybe this might help to validate. And also, if you can please click that notification bell in order to be notified when I drop further videos. Yeah. Look, so the 2 of Swords right here, and the sword that isn't really there that I saw right there is the 3 of Swords, and the 3 of Swords definitely came out. I don't even know if I said the 3 of Swords early. It doesn't matter. Pile number 2, how do they see you now? They see you as being somebody who, I mean, you're even smiling with all of the swords in there. And it's almost like you had to put on a happy face. I feel like the clouds are indeed parting. You're like, you know what? If it's going to rain, let it rain. If the shadows come, let them come. I'm going to speak my truth. And there's not a lot that you can say about it. Maybe fall has something to do with it. These cards are so beautiful. I love them. But also even how the trees have cycles, and how everybody's life has a cycle. And maybe this is a cycle of you shedding, of you really morphing and growing and stretching your aura, your spirit, and your vocal cords in order to speak more about your personal truth. With the 3 of Swords, this is somebody who has undergone so much pain, and I almost start seeing like this rain is like a lot of tears, and you're smiling. Did I just spit on my card? You didn't see that. Wow. I'm super talented. Don't judge. I'm breathing so hard and fight for my life over here, you guys. With the Three of Swords right here, I feel like, yeah, you are definitely trying it. This is almost like I'm getting out what I have to get out. And so you have a lot of pain to process, or you have processed a lot of pain. And people are really maybe even shook by this. Maybe this is like a family secret or things that nobody wants to talk about. Like back in my day, they had, you know, oh, don't go near Uncle so-and-so, you know, don't ever be near that uncle, but they would let uncle attend all functions, and lo and behold, you know, he would find his way with children, if you know what I mean. So I didn't mean this for it to be dark, but that pertains to somebody. And I'm just going to say, if that was your situation, then I can relate. And I'm going to say right here that it is good for you to speak your truth, whether it is in art form, whether it's voicing, whether it's being an advocate for others, whether it's in therapy, whether it's in all the above. Do whatever frees you and sets your soul free and helps you to be able to feel like you are complete and whole and unhindered. Two of Cups, unexpected. Pile number 2, you chose pile number 2, and we have the Two of Cups indicated right here. And I'm just going to say, look at how lovely this image is. I feel like you're going to find a lot of people that can relate to you. And I'm hearing the spectrum, whatever the spectrum is for you. The spectrum doesn't always have to be the autistic spectrum. It can be. But this is also a spectrum of, like, I've undergone this type of trauma, and this other person has undergone this type of trauma, and you're able to really discuss it and talk about it and really see and have a meeting of mind and hearts to where this actually causes a mending and a healing. Now, I'm not talking necessarily trauma bonding, because that could be a thing, and where you wind up like ruminating, and that winds up being unhealthy. Of course, you guys know this. But I am here to say that this is mental, spiritual, emotional growth. This is emerging. So maybe you're about to meet someone else, or maybe perhaps how they seem now is that you are really merging with not only yourself, but that you're connecting with other people, that you have a lot of options also to be able to connect even on, I heard romantical talks like that, apparently I do. And yeah, sorry about all the extra noises in this reading. Well, the hard breathing and the stuffed nose, and here we are. But the Two of Cups tells me that you're really resonating with other people around, that emotionally people are getting you. And this is really important, not only for your growth, but also for the world. Because I feel like as you heal, other people can heal as well around you. And I don't feel like it's your responsibility to heal others around you. But with your healing, this sheds a light, and it becomes a lamp for other people in order to really initiate their own growth and their own healing. Pile number 2. We're going to look at these little rune stones here. And I'm not super familiar with them. Maybe just learning. Is it Inglas? I don't know if that's a T. The font is a little perplexing to me. That rhymed. So we have creation, wholeness, energetic burst, harmony, and evolution. Yeah. And you have definitely evolved. Like people, how do they seem now? Is it somebody who has evolved, that you have outgrown the part where you are being quiet, where you're being subdued, where you're being controlled. And even, I feel like this is almost like ingrained within you. We don't talk about that. We don't discuss that. We keep our business to ourselves, that kind of a thing. And I feel like that is really served to really kind of constrict, confine, and even create templates that repeat within families. And you are the curse breaker, the generational curse breaker, I'm going to say, within your family. So you have creation, wholeness, energetic burst, harmony, and evolution. In pile number 2, we're at 1717 right now. I'm going to go ahead and add a video that I took a couple of days ago of an interaction with a local, which happened to be a raven. And just because I feel like this is part of it. So I'm going to insert here.
Are you causing mayhem? Are you causing a problem? Pretty.
Okay. So, I feel like you have raven energy. I feel like you are incredibly intelligent. And how they see you now is being somebody who has really earned their stripes. You have earned everything that you have. Not that we have to be like human doings that we're earning things, but you've definitely earned, I want to say, just the amount of courage that you have is being recognized by them, whoever they are, okay? And then we have Radio? I know you guys are like, no, just don't say it. So this is natural rhythms, journey, action, movement, and you're on the right path. Yeah. So people are really recognizing, they're really recognizing that you're on the right path. They see you now as being on the right path, that you've earned your stripes, that you're incredibly brave, that you're incredibly gifted. I feel like you radiate a lot of stamina, a lot of beauty, that you have an incredible amount of depth, but that you're very perceptive, observant. And this again could be due to trauma, past trauma, or the need to be able to read a room like nobody's business, to make sure that you're not walking into a situation that was dangerous. And now, consequently, it is a gift. It's become a gift that you can actually walk into a room and read the room without any effort. And people are a little bit shook by that. You can tell when there have been fights or somebody's been talking about you, and I indeed feel like you guys could be very telepathic, very gifted as well. And part of that came from being hyper attentive once upon a time, but now it has turned into a gift. And I feel like you got people shook, okay? How do they see you now? They see you now as a formidable opponent, as somebody who says what they mean and mean what they say, okay? So you are not to be trifled with. Much love to you, pile number 2. Until next time, namaste. Hi friends, my name is Griselle with Toughdolltarot, and I'm here to do your reading. Pile number 3, you chose this lovely image on the right hand side of the screen, and your downloads go as follow. How do they see you now? Literally, my download was okay. Don't judge me. My guides are pretty funny sometimes. Sacral chakra activated, incredibly attractive, and right away smexy to all, okay? Epiphany, a light bulb moment. In the epiphany, I wrote the words like this, like a roller coaster. So I feel like also people see you now as somebody who really activates them, and they feel mixed feelings. It's almost like they're confused, they're elated, but then their elation drops for whatever reason. So we're going to go ahead and get a little bit more information in the shuffle in 3, 2, 1. Welcome to my channel. Pile number 3. How do they see you now? If you're new to my channel, I am so grateful to have you here. Hopefully you're going to have something that you find that is helpful, hopeful, inspiring, or at the very least amusing. And for those of you that are my repeat offenders, I'm so grateful to have you here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate all of your guys' comments and everything. So how do they see you now? Pile number 3, you have the Fool. Hang in there with me. You have the Tower. You have the 5 of Wands. And you have the Sun. Very interesting. So, pile number 3, right off the bat, I just definitely feel like you exude a lot of like sexual energy. When I looked at this picture, it just drew me in, like the colors, the radiantness, even on top of the chakra, on her crown chakra, it seems like everything is just illuminated. And it seems to me that people see you now as somebody who is really very attractive, very compelling, very alluring, very smexy, if you will. So we also have the Fool and the Tower. So how do people see you now? As you're somebody who's willing to take a risk, take a chance. I feel like people have seen that you've had a lot of changes, but you're like, wait, hold my beer. I'm not done yet. And that you're willing to bring down the whole tower, that you're willing to bring down anything that stands in the way of authenticity, of truth, of facts. I feel also that you could be unconventional. how do they see you now is that you could be, I heard wilding, okay? So maybe you could appear wilding, and right away, for whatever reason, it could be that this merman is here. I don't know. But I'm getting Jason Momoa, and when he did that movie Aquaman, right? So you could have really long hair. Excuse the hard breathing, because it's just not because we're talking about Jason Momoa right here. It's because I'm trying to get over a cold here. But with the Fool card right here, it just seems to me like you, how they see you now is that everybody wants to take a risk. They want to take a chance on you. They really want to kind of change, grow, and evolve. And they're willing to kind of, I mean, they're willing to like leave behind wives and babies. I know that's disgusting, but that's what I heard in my head. So we're going to keep it pushing right here. But I feel like people just are really attracted to you. Like right away, the first thing that they notice is kind of a feline movements, or something about your moves really draws their gaze. It could be also like your attire, like how you dress. I'm not talking like wearing deep V-necks and exposing your you know, chesticles or anything like that. Or maybe you wear like really short shorts. You can. I mean, it's your body, and hey, if you have it, flaunt it. But I'm really just talking about the way that you move, the way that you move through life and things like that. People are really starting to see you for whom you are right now. And I feel like people gain a lot of pleasure from actually watching you, physically watching you. Maybe you have like a channel, or you're on social media, or maybe you're a model and you take a lot of pictures, or you like to travel, or you have a blog, a travel blog, anything like that. But I definitely feel, and some of you guys dance. Some of you guys are watched a lot for your dancing and for your fluid movements. And some of you guys like to do shuffle, like shuffle tutorials and things like that. My nose is really itchy right now. But how do they see you now? They are seeing you for being somebody who is high competition. Okay? I feel like once upon a time they may have overlooked you. They may have thought, well, you know, that's cute, pile number 3. Or you're doing your little thing over here, pile number 3, that'll amount to nothing. Almost like people are condescending. All right? People underestimated you. You are definitely the dark horse. You could be also like myself, like a late bloomer. Maybe perhaps you're somebody who's found your niche late in life, or you have been able to do away with like societal expectations and things like that late in life as well. So whatever your thing is, people are really starting to see you favorably, like powerfully. So I feel like also you could have glorious white hair or silver hair. It could be dyed, it could be not, whatever the thing is. But I feel like a lot of wisdom is coming from you. But people are really starting to see, with the 5 of Wands here, that you are somebody that people will fight for. They'll throw down for. I just saw 506 right here, right now. And you know, it wasn't 505 with all the 5s or changes and fluctuations. It's almost like the 506. The 6 is like, to me, this person looking over their shoulder, and it's like, how do you like me now? So maybe you could be a little bit of sassy. Maybe you are, they're seeing you as a little bit sassy. But again, I feel like you could have a platform, or you're viewed as your reputation's had like a really big glow up. And when people encounter you, they're actually never the same. Now, do I know that sounds dramatic? Yes. Did I mean it for being drama? Well, also yes, because look. And again, sorry about my heavy breathing, and I'm fighting for my life again. But look here, you are incredibly crowned. I feel like you could have an intensity about you, an ability to go deep, because this merman, it's a mermaid, right? But Poseidon brings about the shakeup. Look at right here, right behind, it's the tower. It's like, I'm going to level everything down with all of my strength. And maybe perhaps you have a depth that other people are really shook by. They are shocked, they are astonished. And also maybe perhaps you speak on a level that people really understand, relate, and comprehend with you. Like, how they see you right now is the things that you maybe are speaking on, things that you're doing they wish they could have done, or they really instantly relate to you, and they're attracted to you all over again. And it's like, well, where was this attraction if you were left in the past? How do they see you now? To me, a little bit implies, largely, not for everybody, largely people from your past, but this could be also like current people. And it seems to me like you have this ability to speak truth, to level things. And also I feel like you have people questioning the ground that they built upon, basically like the life that they currently have. Did they choose the right spouse? Actually kept coming up as a feeling and emotion. I didn't really know what words to put on that, but that's what I just heard. Thankfully, my guides kind of helped pop the words into my brain. So I'm just going to say that you have a lot of people also, even with this in the center, a lot of people want to pop back up and say hello. And I feel like it's because your sacral chakra activates other people as well. And they're like, okay, wow. I feel like people can make a lot of internal sounds like I'm hearing like yum, or that's hot, or whatever. Things like that they won't really want to say outside. And I'll keep it PG-13 here. So, pile number 3, if you do like my content, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. I am so grateful for those of you guys that have already done so. I had no idea that we would be able to get to 3,000. Had no clue. Super grateful. Thank you. And then also, if you can take a moment to go ahead and click that notification bell, I would really be ever so grateful. Pile number 3, how do they see you now? I'm hearing, how do you like me now? That when you make your moves, you are slow, methodical, tempered. With this red, is it a cape? Can I call it a cape? I don't know. With this red overcoat, whatever this thing is, I'm just going to say Page of Pentacles is slow, very slow to make moves. I feel like you know exactly like how you look when you go out. You could have very different hair. I love that hairstyle, by the way. It's attractive to me, but you could have like a widow's peak or a really different hairline. You could have large eyes, or is it Sunpow eyes? Anyways, I don't know. But like Princess Diana eyes. You could also have an attraction to like horror, or I heard Hollywood as well, maybe like horror flicks. You could be somebody who really enjoys movies and shows about like real life crime and drama and things like that. I love to watch all those like real ones, and especially if they have like mini episodes. Let me tell you, I'm gonna eat it up. So right here, whatever you develop and whatever you put your time, energy, and effort to, you're very slow, methodical, conscientious. I feel like you are going to really think about things. And even right here, we have a little of like he's holding his hands right at the sacral chakra. Right? And so that's being highlighted as well. And maybe you're very slow to come forward or make any moves when it comes to like any romantic moves, right? I heard you're not for the streets. Okay. And maybe once upon a time we had different reputation. Okay, so how they're seeing you now is somebody who is very slow to make a move on things. Eight of Swords is also somebody who is really in their head, in their mind. Sorry, I'm having a hard time breathing. So I'm going to say pile number 3, even like this bow right at her throat right here. It seemed like all these swords are tied up with her. And I feel like you're incredibly intelligent, and how they see you right now is somebody who has really endured a lot. With the Eight of Swords, like you tend to kind of blind yourself to what's obvious like in front of you, because you want that internal information. You don't necessarily want to see with your eyes. You want to see with your spirit, with your soul, with your essence. You want to gain a higher view on what it is that is good for you. And maybe pile number 3, I'm going to attach a video of this interaction I had with a raven, just because I feel like it's fitting right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put in that short little snippet video in here.
Are you causing mayhem? Are you causing a problem? Pretty.
All right. So with the Eight of Swords right here, how they see you right now is somebody who is really carrying all of your experiences in such an intellectual manner, but knowing that you need outside help. And I feel like you call on your guides, you call on spirit, maybe even you call upon the ravens and the bats. I love all of the dark birds. I love them all. I think they're so beautiful. And as you saw, I have the privilege of talking to some of them sometimes. It's so cool. I don't care what setting it is. I'm going to talk. I'm down. I'm like crazy bird lady. So the Eight of Swords right here, really, usually this talks about somebody like being wrapped up in their mind. And it could be that they see you as being somebody who's confined in your head a little bit. But most of all, I feel like you are getting your downloads from spirit. And you're not allowing anything like beautiful or any like false possibilities to really entertain you. And that's why you are slow and methodical, because I feel like you consult with the higher ups, whether this is your animal spirits, animal totem, whether it's meditation, prayer, you know, God, spirit, higher self, whatever, all the things, right? So how do they see you now? This is like a big change, by the way. I feel like maybe people could have been not so riveted towards you or attracted to you, or maybe so, or maybe there was a loss of an attraction, but I feel like that is not lost anymore. Look at this guy. He's like, what? Manas. What does manas mean? It's humanity, intelligence, awareness, society, and learning. Yeah, it's the fact that you are so incredibly intelligent. And look at this little guy just smiling away right here. So I feel like what they see about you is that they didn't realize how connected you are to the other world, to spirit, to even animals, animal friends around us and things like that. It could be also like your abundance. So I feel like some way, somehow, that you are incredibly abundant, and something about society is popping up right here, right? I feel like you're being illuminated. Ooh, and be recognized by society. I heard social graces, and again, excuse my heavy breathing. This is awful. I'm trying. Okay. Then we have Kenna's. Is that even the right way to say that? So let me look this guy up because I don't know these very well. Oh, here it is. Okay, enlightenment, creativity, skill, offspring, and learning. Oh my gosh, Grisel, your voice. We're almost done, guys. Thank you for sticking through if you're still here with me. I feel like you could be somebody who's well-versed, well-read. I also feel like how you're being looked at, how they see you right now, is almost like you have a key to the Akashic records, that you know things that people should not know, that you have the ability to deep dive, to be able to do even 3D research. Yeah, that's great. But also that you see beyond. With owls, they can actually turn their heads 360 degrees around. And actually, I have a friend who is, I don't want to say a raptor keeper. He used to deal a lot with raptors and all sorts of things. I mean, he was showing pictures the other day and they're phenomenal. But I'm going to say that maybe something about dealing with raptors, maybe there's something wild about you, and the way that you gain your information illumination is shocking. Okay. Grisel, you can get through it here. So, I'm looking at this like red mark right here, like a bookmark presumably, and it's like it's never ending. It's like you never fail to shock people. Your connectivity is stunning, and I feel like you're getting a lot of public recognition also. So you guys could have platforms of your own. You could be here on the good old YouTube, you could be on Rumble, you could be on Twitter, you could be on, I don't know, IG, and have a completely beautiful, aesthetically pleasing platform, and people just are starting to recognize you more and more. How do they see you now? Yeah, as the Empress. You're abundant, gracious, everything that you touch grows, but also divinely protected. I love this for you. We're going to leave it right here because I can't speak no more. Until next time, namaste.